Hello, guys. Welcome to Table Talk with Randy. I'm your host, and today is going to be a discussion on the New Year's, new me type of situations. So let's say that you had a pretty crazy 2019. You thought that the New Year's Day of 2019 you were going to set all these goals, and then you were going to cope with them, and you were going to achieve them, but unfortunately you have not. Now, that's always the case with a lot of people that are like, oh, new year, new me. Let me tell you something. From my personal perspective, you can't really set goals until you actually work on them. A little example of that, 2019, I put a goal to be a bit more cleaner and a bit more organized. Now, the past 2 years, I have failed completely. The only way for me to actually achieve that goal is to achieve that habit, and that is what I actually did. Proud to say, 2020, I have become much more cleaner. I organize things a lot. I be sure everything's all nice and clean, even if I have some friends that come over or some guests that come over. And let's say we have a little party. I always clean up after the party because I don't want to have a messy place right after. Now, most of the time, you will have those episodes where you're like, oh, I don't want to clean because I'm so tired. I want to sleep, stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. But you got to set your goals. Sometimes it's a chore. Developing a habit is a chore. But you know what? Once you achieve achieve that goal and you stick to your chore and try not to stop, you'll be amazed at what the outcome will be. You'll basically become a second nature to you, and therefore you'll be able to get it done. And that is what I have done. I have actually become more clean and more organized, and enjoying a Pepsi, of course. So that's kind of the topic of today's video. New Year's, new goals. Now, if you've been like me, everyone's like, oh, I want to get a summer body. I want to be more financially stable, or I want to try to work on my work-life balance. That is something exceptionally good to start off with, but you should always start off small. You don't want to show off too big, because if you set goals too high, chances are you're not going to achieve them at all because it's too difficult for you, or sometimes it's too tedious for you. The thing that you have to do is you have to be sure you set a goal and stick with it. Don't go over the edge. Don't go too little. Stay in the medium. Stay in the medium range. A good example of this is becoming financially stable. One fact is that if you actually save up some money every single week, you'll become more financially stable in case an unexpected bill comes in or unexpected family life matter happens. You'll have money to pay that off. Now, I am currently working on that as well because I had quite a bit of a bad spending habit last year. So I decided to think of a situation where I can keep up with my financial stability and stick with it. Now, this is a goal that I've actually started this year. What I've done is I've put all the bills that come in a piece of paper, all the annual fees that come in at a certain date, and I stick with that. So every time I get a paycheck, I take a look at what my expenses are going to be, because usually the first week of the month or the first bi-week of the month is more like a splurging day. I have a lot of money to spend on. Let's say I want to get food. Let's say I want to go out and see my girlfriend. Maybe I want to go out and party or drink. Definitely I'm able to do that. But the second bi-weekly week, that is where the bills come in. So I got to be a bit more careful. That's basically the second week. I have to take a little more careful planning on my financial goals, on my financial plan. Basically, is that. So that's a good goal to start off with. Now, everyone has different goals. Let's say you want to become a bodybuilder. Let's say there's a lot of people that will be like, oh, new year, new me. I need to get my summer body on. You know what? Get yourself a gym membership. Drink a protein shake every day. You'll be amazed by the progress. Because I remember 2 years ago, it was pretty much 2 years ago or last year, I wanted to get a more better shape. So what I did is I actually researched a lot of YouTubers like Scott Herman Fitness, Buff Dudes. What's that other guy's name? Yeah, there was a bunch of other names, but I actually like stick to that motivation. I was looking at things that would help me. I bought protein powder. I've drank protein shakes. I've been to the gym. I've done reps. I've done cardio, and you know what? Even though I was only in the gym for that long, I've actually reached my goal to what I was happy with. So that's another thing that you could do is, you just got to motivate yourself to get everything done. Same thing goes for work-life balance, which is what I'm going to be currently working on too as well. I don't want to skip family events. I don't want to skip out seeing my special someone. I don't want to skip out on hanging out with friends. Because if you think of me, I got a lot of personal / sick time that I can use up. Now, normally I don't get sick that often, so I'm kind of good on that note. But a lot of people may need that. So, you gotta think. You gotta be in a medium. You gotta be sure that you know like what you want to do. That's another thing that you could do. Work-life balance. Also, less spending on alcohol. Let's say if people really love their booze. People really love their gin or their whiskey or their vodka, or they want to go to bars all the time. I personally would just stick with just buying bottles, because you'll actually save a lot more money than going to an actual bar. That's another goal you could do. The last thing is well-being, mental stability. Go out and meditate, do yoga, listen to inspirational videos, meditate, relax, stuff like that. I know a lot of people will have like social anxiety, mental disorders where like it's kind of hard for them to cope. But honestly, you just got to put your mind to it. I know it may be hard to do, especially with people that are taking medication, being sure that they're, what the doctor prescribes, sometimes it can be difficult for you to cope with those things. But you just got to put your mind to it. There's always a saying, mind over matter. If you put your mind to it, you can achieve a lot more crazy, exponential things than what you think that you possibly can do. If you can't do it, put your mind to it. That's just some of the little examples of the New Year, New Me. Basically, the moral of the story is, if you got a goal, stick with it. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very hard. But if you stick with it, like I did last year, you'll achieve a lot better you. That is my discussion for today. And sit happy. I'll see you all in the next video. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when I make another video. Alright, take care.